I'm super excited that you guys are joining me today. Thank you so much. I am here with Omuugn. And if you do not know Omuugn, he is the author of The Insights and Wisdom of Omuugn. Today's topic is on commitment. What we're here to share with you today is the power of commitment and how it can change your life. So please help me welcome Omuugn.
Good morning. It's good to be here. Beautiful fall day and life is good.
I just told myself today that I'm going to write a book called Kick Me If I Volunteer. That's going to be the name of it. I want to help other people. It comes from a good place in my heart, but it does lend to overcommitment. And if I really want to be committed, I've got to pick and choose the commitments that I make in order to follow through with them.
We have a lot of misconceptions with commitment. One of them is that we need external validation. And if you need external validation for your commitments are not based on the right things. I can look within myself and determine what I'm capable of doing. I can validate myself because I only do the things that I'm personally committed to. People always want you to do things that will be beneficial for them, and that can take up all of your time and energy if you're not careful.
I remember the turning point for me was at a church that volunteered me to bring a casserole to a scout banquet. And part of me is like, sure, I'd be happy to help. And then I thought, wait a second, I'm not a scout and I'm not going to the banquet. And why would I be bringing food? It was me letting go, realizing that, hey, there are other people that can follow through on those commitments.
It's a fine line, and you need to be careful. Sometimes we're drawn out of our comfort zone to do things that really need to be done, and we need to commit to do those things. Sometimes it would be to your detriment to do that, and sometimes you can work it in. You have to evaluate carefully. Every one of us has to go through that process of what makes sense to us. And all of us need to contribute to all of the various aspects of our lives in a way that makes sense to us, that adheres to the foundational principles and our core values. Some people are so involved, and perhaps other elements of their life are lacking or need attention that they're not getting. So,
Mhm.
again, we have to evaluate. Every one of us has different skills and abilities, proclivities, predilections, all of those things that are built into who we are, our various traits, and we need to respond to that. Some of us have a natural ability to interact with people. We're outgoing, and some people are very introverted.
I'm one of those people. I prefer to be by myself, and I spend a lot of time in my business with other people. And so when I have some private time, I really want to guard it. I do want a social life and I do want to interact with other people. But I think it goes back to what you said earlier about making your commitments and making them count for something. I want to have a social life and I want to have friends, but it has to be in a very certain compact part of my life because the rest of my time is taken up by other things.
It brings up another point, too, and that is that everyone has different needs. If someone else has a need that involves you, it can be complex. Those external things, they're not really setbacks. It's just a natural flow of life that things don't progress like you think they will. You're always going to just run into someone who needs help. You hadn't planned that in the morning. When you got up, you had your day scheduled, but here you run into someone who needs help. And so you want to be able to help people where you can. A lot of those things are spontaneous. Our commitments need to be that flexible. We need to be committed to our structure and what we're trying to accomplish. We can't let someone come in and override what we're trying to do that is high priority for us. We just need to pick and choose and do the best that we can, but not let other people dictate to us what our commitments should be.
I love the fact of having commitments with boundaries. I know one of the most powerful phrases that I have learned to use is this phrase: what I'm prepared to do is this. So if somebody were to move into my house and I was like, hey guys, this cannot happen, but what I'm prepared to do is this. I'm prepared to put you guys up in a hotel for the night and let you guys figure out what your next steps are. Right. So what I'm prepared to do is, and I always try to make some kind of a concession that's even it may not even be meeting them halfway, but this is what I'm prepared to do. This is what I'm able to do and what I can commit to that doesn't break my commitments with myself and my family, but stays within those boundaries.
Those things need to be clarified for sure. There's someone that we know, I won't mention any names, but they can talk for hours and hours. And it's not you, by the way. When they call, you need to be able to say, "Hey, I've got a half an hour to talk with you." You can work with people, but it needs to be on your terms in your way so that you can follow through with your commitments. When you have goals and objectives, they have time constraints, they have resource constraints, they have different variables that you have to take into account. You don't want other people to tell you what your commitment is going to be. That has to be coming from you and from the way you have designed your life and structured things so that it fits into your lifestyle. Write down your commitments, make a contract with yourself so that you can follow the contract and be held accountable. Share your commitments with others so that you have a support system. Visualize yourself being successful, track your progress, reassess and adjust your goals when need be, and celebrate when you do faithfully commit to something and follow through. Thank you.
Thank you so much. These are the insights and wisdom of Omuugn, and you can join us every Saturday morning as we unpack the next in the series. So if you haven't already, get your copy today, and we will see you same time, same place next week.